Hello ladies and gentlemen, and I'm Dr. Gray here at the Adler Complex, and I managed to get a word with this man joining me right now, LJT, Little Johnny Trouble. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Gray.
Can I call you Johnny first of all?
You can call me whatever you like.
Johnny, you're the hottest property in SWE right now, the hottest talent going. You've had a fine 2014. But let's start at Lycra. You were part of the huge 8-man tag against the Butcher Scott Rennick and the Trident. Unfortunately, your team didn't do so well, they lost. I want to ask you, in your mind, does that loss go to anybody from your team? Like blame? Do you blame from anyone? Or?
Blame is for the weak, Gru. I don't blame anybody. See, all 4 of us went into that match as men representing an SWE that we know and we love, an SWE that the fans know and love. Trident representing a new wave of oppression at the hands of Braveheart, the hierarchy of the SWE. We can't say anything apart from the fact that we were defeated.
Yeah. Let's stick with Lycra. You pulled double duty. You were in the SWE Future Division flag match. You were almost close. You were just as close, but Christopher Saint managed to retain. Do you feel you should be the SWE Future Division champion?
I was this close, wasn't I?
You were.
I remember lying on the ground there after Christopher Saint just battered me over the head with that Future Division title, looking up at him, grabbing that flag. And to be honest with you, it was that night that I realised that things couldn't stay the same. I knew things had to change, I knew that I had to change, and if that I was going to be the LJT that the SWE needed me to be, then I was going to have to evolve, I was going to have to change.
You say change because on the 25th of October, when we returned to the Adler Complex, you changed with a new attitude. You were up against Brian Kendrick, a talent from America, who is an interim World Heavyweight Champion, former tag team champion. Tell us about your emotions going into that match against someone like Brian Kendrick.
Brian Kendrick, after Hell for Lycra, coming off the back of the loss against the Trident and then the Future Division match, you got to understand that I was going into that match with nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose. All I had was to prove to everybody and myself what I was capable of. So I had to forget everything that I thought I believed about myself, and I had to just let myself become what I needed to be to prove myself in that match.
In my mind, that was the match of the night. I truly believe that stole the show. Both you guys going for sliced bread, countering it because you used the same move. However, you defeat them with a simple backslide. My question to you is, if you had the power to choose, would you have stuck going up against Brian Kendrick, or would you have rather had a shot at Paul London?
See, I think it was Brian Kendrick every time. You've got to understand what I believe is that everything that you do in the outside world is just a reflection of what's going on inside. And what you've got to understand about Brian Kendrick and myself is that, believe it or not, we're very, very similar people. We move very similarly, we think very similarly, we fight very similarly. So going into the ring against Brian Kendrick was probably one of the closest things I've had to fighting that inner LJT. It was the closest thing to conquering myself. So I think I would have always chosen Brian Kendrick over Paul London. Not to say that I wouldn't love to face Paul London at some point in the future if the opportunity arises, but that night, to wash away the LJT of the past and to be reborn as the LJT that I am now, it always had to be someone like Brian Kendrick.
I mean, coming off that huge win, and of course a good friend of yours, Scott Ratio, becoming Future Division champion, is it fair to say that you'd probably love an opportunity against Scotty Ratio for the Future Division Championship?
Everybody knows I've got love for Scotty, right? We've had our battles in the past, and you know I'm nothing but happy for him. He's been in this industry now for what, 10 years, and it's finally coming to fruition for him. I think he deserves a Future Division Championship. But hey, you know, Scotty, if he's up for the challenge, man, I'd quite happily put my name in the hat any day.
Yeah, and you know, going back, you've had some amazing matches throughout the year, and in my mind, you know, LJT is a big name, it's going up there, it's going to be huge, but, you know, tell the SWE fans, when we hit 2015, what is the future going to hold for LJT?
For LJT and the SWE, it's a new age of anarchy in the SWE. I can spell it out in one simple word for you, Gru: rebellion.
Thank you again for your time, Johnny. It's a pleasure. So there you have it. Johnny's going to have a rebellion in 2015. I'll be there to see it, will you? And Until then, thank you for your time. Good evening.